Gary Payton II is here to stay? How the Golden State Warriors found a gem. For Gary Payton II, it's NBA superstar father like NBA son when it comes to playing basketball. Gary Payton II is shaping up to be another example of the Golden State Warriors catering to young players' strengths and maximizing their potential. So, Gary Payton II is here to stay? Join us to see how the Golden State Warriors found a gem. Gary Payton II has been trying to find a steady job in the NBA for the last half-decade, and finally, he's got one now. The son of NBA Hall of Famer Gary Payton has gone from the 15th rung on the Golden State Warriors roster to a walking highlight factory and an integral part of the great team in the league. For much of his basketball career, Warriors guard Gary Payton II has heard some variation of the same criticism: you can't shoot. But over the past couple of months, as he spotted up along the perimeter, he noticed defenders give him more and more attention. This showed Payton that he's starting to earn respect for something other than his defense, energy, and athleticism. More than halfway through his breakthrough season with the Warriors, he has shot 63.6% from the field and 38% from three-point range. More noteworthy than the efficiency, however, is the volume. Though Payton's first 5 NBA seasons, he totaled 86 three-point attempts. Now, in just 46 games this season, he has 79. This is a testament to the Warriors' belief in Payton's jump shot. Unlike previous stops, where coaches got upset with him for hoisting three-pointers, Golden State staff encourages him to spot up whenever he's open. Therein lies a key part of head coach Steve Kerr's player development philosophy. Empowerment can help someone tap into abilities he didn't even know he possessed. It also doesn't hurt, though, that the Warriors put Payton in positions to succeed. It's no coincidence that the bulk of Payton's three-point attempts has come from the corners. When he joined the Warriors on a 10-day contract in April, coaches noticed that he had far higher career percentages from those two spots than he did at the top of the arc or from the wings. Now, after practices and shoot-arounds, Payton gets up hundreds of shots with assistant coach Jama Mahlalela from the left and right corners. Payton's directive during games is simple: execute certain actions that will get him to those spots at just the right time. He put in the time with his shot, started the season with a lot of confidence. He's doing a great job of shooting the ones he should shoot and passing up the ones he should pass up. Just understanding what his role is. As a result, he's getting great looks. The shots he shoots, he's generally open and in rhythm, Kerr said. I've seen Gary working on his shot every day since he came here. His athleticism is insane, and he's going to be in this league for a long time and be a great player, especially if he's knocking down threes consistently. What a find from our front office, guard Klay Thompson said. Many of Payton's fans have already taken to social media to voice concern that the Warriors might not be able to re-sign him in free agency. Though they could pay him more than $10 million because they have his early bird rights, they could have a rough time justifying spending significant cash on a role player when they're already so deep into the luxury tax. It should help, however, that Payton feels a sense of loyalty to the team that allowed him to finally find his NBA footing. In addition to plucking him out of the G League and giving him a rotation spot on a title contender, the Warriors did what no other franchise even came close to attempting. They let him shoot at will. I want to stay in Golden State after the season for multiple years until it comes to the decision where I've got to retire here. I know I've said like 10 times now that this is a good fit, but I honestly think this is home, Payton said. Payton was 19 when he got to Salt Lake Community College, 23 when he went undrafted out of Oregon State, and 29 when his one-year contract with the Golden State Warriors was guaranteed. Until recently, he was on the fringes, playing in the G League and the Summer League on 2 days and 10 days, never finding a way to stick with one NBA team. But this Christmas, Payton started in the marquee game. When Devin Booker neglected to box him out, he soared to the rim for a powerful putback, the kind of play that looks 1,000 times more impressive when the guy making it is 6'3". In the afterglow of Golden State's victory, Andy Liu, co-host of Light Years, a long-running Warriors podcast, changed his Twitter display name to Gary Payton II Stan account. It's just an unforgettable season, my first locked-in season, guaranteed. And with this team, it's special guys on this team, Payton said on January 10th, the day he officially kept his spot. In his senior year at Spring Valley High School, Payton started at small forward in a lineup composed entirely of players 6'2" and shorter. He was everything for us. We let him freelance, and some nights we had him in the 5 spot on the board, Coach Philip McAllister said. They ran a 4-out offense, played opposing bigs off the floor, and attacked the paint. He defended Bishop Gorman, Phenom, Shabazz Muhammad, and held his own. Payton was not a bucket getter, but he was a chameleon, McAllister said. Every night, he could be something else for you. He could give you 10 assists, or one night he could give you 15 rebounds, or one night he could give you a triple-double. He'd also grown to 6'2", and he had springs. The game becomes more enjoyable when you can dunk on dudes' heads. At the G League level, Payton was already doing all of this. He played 1 through 4 for the 905, depending on who else was available. There was no big discussion about having him set screens or play in the dunker spot. They knew that my IQ was very high down there in that position and I can play out of it. So we just rocked with it, Payton said. Last April, Payton's second 10-day contract with the Warriors expired. The Warriors told him they'd review their options and they might give him a call. Sure enough, they did, and he signed his non-guaranteed deal 17 days later. In the summer, he rented an Airbnb close to Chase Center. I was going to make sure I was going to be here. I didn't leave all summer. I made sure that these guys saw me every day, Payton said. Payton badly wanted to start from the beginning, he said, and prove to the staff and the front office that I can fit in the system and that I can help the team win. He worked on his jumper and his shot preparation with Adams and fellow assistant coach Nick Kerr. When he went home to Vegas, it was to play for Golden State's Summer League team. Early this season, Morris Walker noticed that nearly every time he FaceTimed Payton, he was at Chase Center. He may not be working out, but he's getting treatment, he's in the cold tub. Literally every time I call, he's in the gym, Morris Walker said. That's how he knew Payton was happier than he'd ever been. The Warriors value those things. They move, they pass, they cut, they screen, and they improvise most of it. For players who aren't used to operating in a react system, it is a massive adjustment. Some talented, highly paid ones have been unable or unwilling to play their way. When they brought in Payton on a 10-day, our management team came to us and said, "Hey, this is a really unique guy. We don't quite know what he is, but we think he'll fit in," Adams said. As the Warriors continue to deal with uncertainty up and down the roster, Payton's production is beginning to feel like a sure thing. When the playoffs begin, Kerr sees Payton as a player who can absolutely play a part in the team's success at both ends. You don't usually see a 6'2" guy score around the basket like he does. It gives us a different dimension, a dunker in the half-court playing behind the defense, a transition player getting out on steals, getting rebounds, running the lane, and finishing. And then obviously, he's shot the three-pointer well this year too. He's a unique player. He's different, and he seems to fit well with our starting group, Kerr said. What do you think about Gary Payton II? Let us know in the comments down below.